This is the story. The story of one man and his journey to play a computer game from the 90s that he vaguely remembered from his childhood. The story goes a little something like this. So one night I'm laying there in bed, scrolling through eBay, as you do, when out of the blue I see a game that catches my attention. Moop and Dreadly in the treasure on Bing Bong Island. So I remember thinking to myself, I vaguely remember playing a demo of that game that came on a CD that came out of my Cocoa Puffs. True story. So on a whim I spent the $4 and had the game shipped to me. Little did I know that one late night purchase would lead to hours upon hours of trying to get this silly game to run on a PC that I owned. I tried playing this game on my laptop. I tried playing this game on my desktop. I even stuck it in my Mac, though I don't know why I even bothered. Time to try the old machines. Windows XP, Windows 95, Windows 98. Aha! Windows 98 got farther, but the audio was all garbled and corrupted and basically rendered the game unplayable. I looked up on YouTube other people who'd played the game, which was about 3 people in total. I contacted one of them to see how they got the game working, and their response was, that worked just fine for them. So it was just a me problem. I finally remembered I had an old Windows laptop from my youth, and it always ran games pretty fine, and guess what? It worked! No issues. Until halfway through this hour-long game when my computer decided to completely crash and not restart. Ever again. The computer was completely dead. But my wife also had an old laptop computer, and that one finally worked. Until I got to the end of the game and the computer I was recording on crashed. Finally, after a few weeks, I was able to play through this game and experience it for what it was. Now, was any of this story relevant to the game itself? No, not at all. But I went through all this work and I have to get some content or something out of it for all my trouble these past few weeks. So, on with the game. What game are we talking about again? Recently, I've been going all in on old school point-and-click adventure games. Day of the Tentacle, the Humongous Entertainment games, and even getting into Myst for the very first time by way of the new VR edition. Humongous Entertainment games have always held a special place in my heart, and it's clear I'm not alone in that. One search through YouTube or Google brings up dozens of people who've done playthroughs, videos about the different Humongous Entertainment games, and much more. Spy Fox, Pajama Sam, Putt Putt, and Freddi Fish were all influential parts of my childhood, and I know that's true for many others as well. The father of many of these games is Ron Gilbert, who has credits for writing, directing, and even programming on such great titles as Maniac Mansion and its great follow-up Day of the Tentacle, The Secret of Monkey Island, and really every Humongous Entertainment game. Ron Gilbert had an incredible run at Humongous Entertainment, putting out dozens of quality children's games.
Humongous Entertainment invites kids into a world of fun and learning, where exploration, problem-solving, and discovery are at their fingertips.
But sadly, Humongous Entertainment was not to last. After being sold to GT Interactive in 1996, and then GT Interactive being sold to Infogrames, the games began to have a noticeable dip in quality and frequency. Apparently, the original founders of Humongous Entertainment planned to buy it back, but the day the deal was scheduled to go through was the day of the dot-com collapse. The funding for the buyback was pulled shortly after Humongous Entertainment announced massive layoffs, and the company never recovered. This story is fairly well known and frequently documented, but what I never see talked about is the company that came out in the aftermath of Humongous Entertainment's fall. Hulabee Entertainment. Founded by Ron Gilbert and Shelley Day, 2 of the original founders of Humongous Entertainment, they set out to pretty much do what Humongous Entertainment did: make children's point-and-click adventure games. And out of this studio came only 2 games before it was also shuttered: Moop and Dreadly in the treasure on Bing Bong Island, and Allo in the Sunny Valley Fair. But I never really see these games talked about. There's very little information about them on YouTube or the internet as a whole. But looking at the gameplay, it looks just like another Humongous Entertainment game. Is this the true spiritual successor to Humongous Entertainment? Let's find out more together. We start off this adventure meeting the character Moop, and I have to say, it really feels like Freddi Fish to me.
Moop, old pal. How you doing? I'll bet you're glad to see your good buddy Captain Dreadly.
He doesn't particularly look like it.
But enough chit-chat. We've got to get going. Check this out. I found a treasure map. A real-life treasure map with a great big X on it. This is going to be great! Sailing the seas in search of treasure! Arr, yar, shiver me timbers, yo-ho-ho and all that.
Okay, I take back the Freddi Fish vibes. It more gives me Calvin and Hobbes kind of vibes. And so with that introduction to our protagonists, we set off on the sea for treasure.
Do you hear something?
Whoa!
Arr, we've got the weevils! And they're eating the sail!
One must always choose the lesser of two weevils.
So immediately our sail gets ruined by a bunch of weevils, and it's up to us to find a substitute. This begins the typical formula of moving around to different screens, gathering items, and figuring out what to do with those items. It has the most essential part of any game: clicking on things. Oh look, we have a mouse with a lute, maybe? Well, that wasn't what I was expecting, but yeah, I'm into it. Using some laundry stitched together, we're able to fix the sail and once again, well, set sail. And this is when the game introduces a unique format. Rather than being one continuous game, it's serialized into 6 chapters, with an exciting narrator giving us the transitions between those chapters.
With their ship sailing out of control at top speed, it will certainly only be a matter of moments before Moop and Dreadly are smashed to smithereens on a reef or a passing iceberg. But just in case by some miracle they manage to survive, don't miss the next exciting chapter of The Treasure on Bing Bong Island!
I like the serial format. It helps it feel unique, and also like this is a big adventure we're going on. A big adventure made for children ages 5 through 8.
Chapter 2! 2 rocks! Gotcha!
In the next chapter, we end up crashing on the shore of a mysterious island, and it leads us to a far greater mystery. What in the world is going on with this head shape? Is this flesh-colored hair? A handle? I'm uncomfortable playing as a character whose head is the shape of Oklahoma. Fortunately, it's not long before we get to meet a native to this island. But I have to say, I'm a tad nervous. They're going to give this guy some kind of, cringy jungle accent, so let's just talk to him with caution.
Hello, welcome to Bing Bong Island.
Well, that's one way to play it.
We just came looking for treasure.
The treasure should be easy to find with both halves of the map. I'll give you mine, but first you'll have to pass the traditional tribal test of strength. The test of strength is simple enough. There are 2 special rocks on the island. One right here, the other one down that path there.
2 rocks. Gotcha.
Well, there's one rock. Okay, this should be a piece of cake.
Looks like you're having a little trouble with your balloon there, eh?
Oh, yes, indubiously. I was taking it to Lower Plovia to pick up an elephant, but it seems to have developed a rather sizable conflagration.
So it appears we have to fix this lady's balloon so we can stack 2 rocks together, so we can become legal citizens of the island, so we can acquire another half of a treasure map. This is the kind of Humongous Entertainment hoopla I'm here for.
Thank you, young man. Fastibulous. Well, it appears I owe you boys a favor. Is there anything I can do for you?
Cash would be nice.
I like the way this guy thinks.
Do you think you could help us move this big rock?
Indubiously. All we'll need is something to attach it to the balloon, a big net perhaps, something like that.
So once again, we set out to wandering the island, looking for anything that we can borrow or just, outright steal. Let's keep exploring. I wonder what's over here. On second thought, let's not. And it's here that I have my first real complaint about this game. You walk so slow. This game has a lot of walking back and forth. And what's worse, as you get later into the game, a lot of backtracking. And the walking animation takes so long to get from one screen to the next. Yes, you can hit the escape key like with other games to quickly switch between screens, but I tried to play without doing that so I could catch all of the animations. But they're so slow. But anyway, it's been a little while since we've clicked on some things. So let's click on something. Another character we meet is this scary fish guy, who actually turns out to just be a human wearing a fish mask. in order to attract fish.
Why are you wearing that costume?
Shh, you'll scare the fish.
He seems to complain that it's hard to catch these rare fish, but if you take just a few steps over this way, it's not that hard. You just gotta whistle at him. We bring the fish back so we can trade him for his net, and I just have to say that, like with the Humongous games, the animation is pretty lively and entertaining. It's just so great to see so much effort put into content made for young kids. Using the net and our once again repurposed laundry sail, we're able to fix this lady's balloon and stack the rocks on top of each other.
Well, most impressive. No one has ever completed the test of strength before.
But many have died trying.
Move! We've got the whole map! Quick, let's go find that treasure.
You're welcome. Oh, by the way, you might run into my daughter, Princess Connie, who's also been searching for the golden glockenspiel.
Princess Money! Right, got it!
If you see her, have her call home, will you?
Aw, this guy. This guy is such a dad.
Where are we going to find a large pig head on this island?
I'll tell you where you can find a large pig head. As we continue following the treasure map, Moop and Dreadly accidentally fall into some quicksand, prompting another cliffhanger. And the thing I really love about this narrator is how pessimistic he is.
Caught in the clutches of deadly quicksand and sinking further every minute with no chance of escape. Yes, it's definitely certain doom for our boys this time.
He's always talking about how there's no hope for rescue, and I just love it.
Move, old pal. Before we sink you into quicksand forever, I've got to tell you you're the best friend and first mate a ship captain can ask for. And if I had to sink in quicksand, not that I want to sink in quicksand, mind you, but if I had to sink in quicksand, I'd rather sink in it with you than anybody else who might happen to be around. Hey, we're not sinking! Let's stop going to the port deep!
Well, after that sincere confession, we find ourselves in yet another predicament. We have to cross this 2-foot chasm.
Wait!
Do it, Moop. Do it. Do it. And this is where I once again have to complain about the backtracking. Another difference in this game versus the Humongous Entertainment games is the amount of backtracking you have to do. We end up using a rope from the ship, which is all fine and good, but this rope wasn't here or even accessible to us earlier in the game. So I had no idea where to go find this rope, or even that there was a rope back on my ship. I just had to meander my way through each section of the island until I found something I could take. Remember that loot the mouse was playing earlier? We'll need that later in the game, but it's not accessible to us until right before we need it, meaning we have to backtrack a significant amount to go find it again. We finally meet the villains of the game, Captain Trench and his minions.
Be careful with that key, man. We need it to unlock the ancient temple where they keep the treasure. Yes, Captain Trench!
Clearly, we need to steal this key from them. Now, if we were real pirates and could choose to forsake our morals, this would be a relatively easy problem to solve. But because we're upstanding, fine, and respectable moral pirates, we'll have to find another way.
I thought you were going to Lower Plovia or something.
Yes, I'm on my way. I just seem to have gotten a little entangulated here.
This lady didn't get too far. Thankfully, we're able to take the pacifist route and simply scare the pirates away. With them conveniently dropping the key on their way out. Well, at least now we can take the key over to unlock this temple we found earlier.
Will Moop and Dreadly be eaten by a nasty, horrible, hungry, drooling monster? Or will they miraculously manage to escape? It doesn't seem likely.
Again with the announcer, dude. In the temple, we meet Princess Connie, the daughter of that dad we met earlier. Unfortunately, she gets trapped and we have to set her free. And with that, it's time for the YouTube question of the week. What kind of animal is Moop supposed to be? I don't even feel like I can throw out conjecture. I mean, maybe a cat? Maybe a tiger?
The lava's not coming out of the pipes anymore. I'm going to lower down the glockenspiel and you grab it.
Arr!
It's Captain Trench, the pirate!
We're captured by Captain Trench and tied up outside of their ship.
We're in a tight spot.
We're in a tight spot.
How are we ever gonna get out of this one? Well, I guess that wasn't so hard after all. Come on, Moop. Let's check around the island and see if we can't find something to help us get that treasure back.
I'll stay here to make sure they don't leave with it.
And also, we didn't have the budget to animate her following us. So once again, we're back to the grind, wandering the island, looking for anything that might help us get onto the ship. And once again...
This is boring.
Maybe it was just my attitude after dealing with the constant computer crashes, but this is when I really started to lose steam with this game. I really wanted to explore some new areas by this point, but once again I was back to wandering the same few spaces over and over, looking for things that might have changed since I last visited.
Say, did you hear something?
Sounds like water leaking into a ship.
Yeah, that's what I thought.
Oh no!
So now we're able to get onto the ship in an attempt to steal the golden glockenspiel from the captain. But it looks like we'll need to lull him to sleep first. But who would want to? Check out these tunes.
Nice going, but what are we gonna do with the world's most boring record?
Moop is clearly planning his uprising, and I'm in full support. It's funny that even though Captain Dreadly tends to boss Moop around and be a little bit of a jerk, he obviously loves Moop and considers him his very best friend. But Moop? Nah, he straight up hates that guy.
I don't remember this part of the record. It's oddly mesmerizing. So monotonous and repetitive, almost.
Is this a big Moop revenge scene? Push him off the cliff! Push him off the cliff! Do it!
We got my treasure back!
Your treasure. Let me remind you again that the golden glockenspiel has been in my family for generations.
Oh yeah? Well, who risked their necks to get it back from that ugly pirate captain, huh? I didn't see you up on that ship.
Thieves!
Let's go!
Come back with my treasure, you scallywags!
Having fallen directly into the mouth of an active volcano, can there be any hope for Moop?
Nope. No hope.
Can there be any hope for Dreadly?
Nope. No hope.
Can there be any Moop for Princess Moop?
So in this final act, we find ourselves inside an active volcano, and we're racing Captain Trench to gather parts necessary to recover the golden glockenspiel.
I'll stay here with the glockenspiel.
Seriously, what good are you? Not to get repetitive, but here we are in the final section of backtracking. We have to wander pretty much everywhere we've been in the entire game to gather these last few parts. It really does dive all the way into straight tedium by this point. Let's go check on Princess Connie.
Hey, shouldn't you guys be trying to find a way to block that lava?
Oh, you wanted us to do that now. And so, after recovering the golden glockenspiel, the day is saved and everyone is rescued.
Certainly a close one.
You're not seriously going to let them keep the glockenspiel, are you?
Well, technically they're entitled to it, according to Section 6 of the Bing Bong Municipal Code.
We must follow the Bing Bong Municipal Code.
And in the game's final unique twist, your last action is a choice. You can choose to return the valuable golden glockenspiel to the islanders, or you can just leave.
Bye, everybody! Thanks for everything!
I'll play a song for the launching of the ship. Oh, Moop and Dreadly came one day, crashed their ship into the bay. We built them a new one without delay. Then they took the treasure and they sailed away.
Now, technically this is considered the bad ending, or at the very least, the selfish ending. If you choose to reluctantly give over the glockenspiel, you'll discover that it was actually worthless, and they choose to reward you with real treasure instead. So like any good piece of children's media, it ends with the lesson: if you don't steal things from people, they're obligated to reward you with treasure beyond your wildest imagination.
Let's go live like kings! Bye, everybody! Thanks for everything!
I enjoyed playing through Moop and Dreadly, especially getting to play through the whole game and not just the demo disc I had as a kid. It brings some unique ideas to the table, like the serialized format and the multiple endings depending on how nice of a person you decide to be. But it also brings in some incredibly tedious backtracking And, I don't know, the music and characters just don't seem to quite live up to the humongous level of quality. It's hard not to bring nostalgia glasses to the table, and maybe if I had played this game as much as Humongous Entertainment games in my childhood, I would think this game stands shoulder to shoulder with those. But without that much nostalgia to color my perception of this game, it definitely feels like a weaker effort. But there is still absolutely fun to be had here. The game is somewhat of a rare novelty now, and as the closest thing we have to a continuation of the classic Humongous games, I think it's well worth a play. If you can get it to ever run on your computer... Hey, thanks for watching this video. If you played this game, or Humongous games in general, leave me a comment and let me know which one is your favorite. Or if you have another game you think I should take a look at, let me know in the comments below. Thanks!